Spencer, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You want to introduce yourself for our friends here?
Sure. My name is Spencer. I'm born and raised in Hong Kong, but now I lived in Thailand for 16 years, and I'm working on the environmentals through aquaculture project.
And my name's Andy Stone. I live in Portland, Oregon, and work in Southeast Asia, in addition to my partners in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah. So they suggested that we talk about, how did we get into this kind of work, and when did we realize that peace building is connected to place and land and water.
Right. Well, I remember when we first met, and you were in different class year in here, but we're working on environment issues, and that's how we connected in here. Wow, you did fantastic projects on the Mekong areas, and I do on the food side, working in smallholder farmers. There's the connections within environments and the food productions.
Yeah, the food thing, that's how I kind of got interested. I think I was 19 years old, and I realized nothing is ever really thrown away. So if I wasn't going to eat it or drink it or breathe it, why would I throw it away out there? And from that, I started thinking about ecological systems. And I realized that rivers are a way that it's easy for people to see how everything is connected.
Well, my story is slightly different. I'm not born natures as a kind of like a peace builders in area. I have commercial background. But I just got this opportunity to study at the Chulalongkorn programs, and I said, wow, it's just the world is a lot of issues, and in our programs, and we need to do a kind of like conflict analysis. At that time, I'm working in the food industry, organic industries, and I was doing my mappings in here. And finally, in short, that I found the root cause is it's not sustainable ways of food productions. That's how I get into we need to do more with integrating the food productions with the environment.
Yeah, so what's different about that, starting from an environmental or an ecosystem perspective? Because a lot of Peace Fellows in your cohort probably were looking at a specific conflict, pre-war, post-war. How do you resolve things after the violent conflict?
Well, my belief in this one, we are already in conflict with the environment, right? Food productions, you have to cut down the trees, make the farms, and the environments are there, right? The conflict is, environment is not happy. You got cut down the trees, right? You don't think the trees don't have feelings. You cut me down. Is it not? We already have a conflict. That's how I see it. What do you think?
That's the framing of the people that call themselves river people.
Oh, okay.
I work with. They have the same understanding.
Right.
It's everything out there is not resources for them. They're in some kind of relationship with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And that's the conflict for them, is that they have that understanding, and a lot of the rest of the world looks at the things around them as a resource base.
Well, I'm sure you work with the indigenous people. They believe that all the trees have the spirit, right? It's part of the whole system, ecosystem in here. Don't say that they don't know how to scream. They don't have to tell you that they have pain. They have pain. I totally believe in this area, and our unsustainable ways of food productions are killing them. So that's the conflicts I see already.
You came to the Kok River in northern Thailand just last week, I think, or a week and a half ago.
Thank you for inviting.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Yeah,
thank you.
And see that happening.
My God.
It gets framed as an environmental issue, but the pollution in that river is causing real harm to people, to their health and to their livelihoods and everything around them.
Sure. Again, thank you because I was living in Chiang Mai then, and I said, Jesus, I have to drive 4 hours to here. It's a long way. Okay, yeah, I'll come and have a look in here. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The community came out to say that we have poisonous water. That's basic human right, right? You have clean waters in here, and everyone comes out.
Yeah.
And make a difference and voice out.
People showed up. It's their lives. So the question, I guess, is, being there, you've been there, I've been there. For people that haven't been in a situation like that, how do we start to explain to them, or how do we start to connect with them for a deeper understanding that this is not only environmental work, it really is peace building? Well, how do we start that conversation or frame it? What do you think?
I think we have to bring the Rotarians to the communities, and build up the empathies and compassion. People need to, empathize the communities. Had you put in your position on their shoes, right, what would you feel?
Yeah.
Right? If you have toxic water, will you scream? Right? I mean, this kind of environment is part of the whole system. Don't disregard our humans away from environment. We are part of the ecosystem. We are no different as an animals and anything. And we are together. We only have one world.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the word empathy. A lot of time I feel like things are framed in terms of sympathy, which is there's people that have a problem and we have to help them with their problem. Where I see empathy is equal. It's I understand how you feel as a fellow human being, and that the reason the harm is happening in the first place is that the waste that's going into those communities is seen as, well, that's a cost of doing this, or it's an acceptable loss.
Sure.
Empathy is seeing that as an equal person and understanding what's going on, the losses that they're experiencing.
Well,
I feel more motivated to do something coming from that equal perspective.
Not only us, because again, thanks for your invitations. You know, the whole peace walk, many people comes from Bangkok. Right? They care.
And Chiang Mai too.
And Chiang Mai too. You know, they cares about the people in there. This is not right. You know, something has to do with it. And I'm impressed that there are speakers saying that, and you know, still have the freedom to talk to it, even though they have some constraint in many different ways. As if everyone's make a little difference, even showed up, I believe that things can change.
Part of that for the people I work with in Thailand, I'll speak about Thailand. They have a fairly developed youth program, and for 10 years the youth have been doing water quality testing in anticipation that someday that would be a needed skill. And so now it is, right? And communities are coming to that group, asking, how can we get involved? How can we adapt your program to where we are to help deal with this issue? And so that's an important thing too on the understanding and empathy perspective. I'm really hoping that Rotarians can come out and visit the youth program. Whether or not they visit those villages, youth programs are happening closer into small cities and whatnot.
Very true.
It's another way of understanding. And so I guess I'm curious what you're doing.
Well, let me build on that
go ahead.
one in here. I mean, I'm from Hong Kong. I have the Chinese ethnic background in here. We Chinese have always saying in the wisdoms of the Confucianism, right? If you have a plan for 1 year, you grow crops for eating. If you have a plan for 10 years, you grow trees. So you have shade, you have all those things in here. But if you want to perpetually in here, you have to put in education, grow people. And education is fundamental. There are so many things we cannot solve in this generations. Maybe the new generations have new ideas, new technologies, were able to come together and work together in this area. I totally agree with you. We have to put efforts in bringing new generations, educating them into what cares. The future is them. I keep telling in Thailand, right? I'll be long gone probably, right? I mean, you children need to be care about the future. Yeah, that's how I see it.
It's really inspiring for me. The week before the peace walk, the Thai public health officials and national and international media from here in Taiwan came to the north of Thailand, to our small city, and our youth co-led the discussion with the officials and the media on what's going on in the river, what type of pollution is there, how they're doing the water quality testing, and why it's important for them. And I feel that for me I know that's happening, and for me to be able to be there and see our youth doing that at that level, interacting as peers with government officials and the international media, I felt inspired, you know.
Well, Andy, we need to do more work.
I would like to do more
work.
Like
we as a Peacebuilding, we're connecting the Rotarians with the communities. I mean, on that experience of the peace, I love to have Ryla, I love to have Rotary actors, all the Rotarians come here and walk together with the monks, with the local communities, and build up the awareness and the concern, you know, on the whole thing. So we are together.
Come and observe the youth program, and come and see what you're doing in Chiang Mai.
Well, again, Rotarians and Rotary actors, you know, connecting with the Peace Alumni Association, get us our project into the space. I think that's critical.
So is there anything else you can think of that's a lot, right? What you just said is a lot.
Right. All
different aspects of Rotary, from youth through into Rotarians. Is there anything else you can think of from the sort of the Rotary ecosystem, if I can use that term, any other way that we can engage with that, or anything that we need or can offer?
Well, I'm very encouraged that at the country experience in here, many people talk about the peace centers, and you're investing more and more peace centers. And a lot of presidents and officials saying that we need more peace builders. We need more peace builders. Having more peace, because the world is a mess right now, environmentally, war and everything in here. We need to build up this momentum of culture of peace into the pictures. By investing in peace, then you have economic development. Right? Without peace, you can't. I was talking to Ethiopians, because of the conflict constantly, they can't do things. Right? Without peace, you cannot have sustainable economic development. So my take in this area is Rotarians, peace fellows, not only us, all walks of life and publics in here need to work together, because we have common goal. We have the same world, we have the same environment. We are, you just can't run away from it.
I noticed, I've been looking at the 7 areas of focus, and they're framed as separate things, but they're circles and they're arranged in a circle.
Sure.
So in the diagram, they're connected. They're all parts of each other.
That's right.
And yet sometimes we think about those as separate things. And I was over at the Environment Hub yesterday, and they were talking about water quality. In the Environment Hub.
Well, from what we learned from the peace studies, right? I mean, there's basically 3 types of peace. Inner peace, yourself is happy, peaceful, and self. The social peace side, and all the around in the social area peace. But you have the environmental peace. All needs to be connected together. Without things, it non-functions. Imagine, right? I mean, your environments are destroyed. How can you be happy? You're facing the pollution. In Chiang Mai, in Thailand, in here, we have so much huge problems by burning, by whole thing, destroying environments in here. People in the cities or even here are suffering. They have illnesses. Everyone knows. You can't escape. The water problems in Mekong. Okay, we have Rotarians living in the environments too, right? Probably they are buying waters too. Right? Even though, why they have to buy waters when there's a clean water? So that's part of the whole community that we cannot escape. Everyone, Rotarian, non-Rotarians, are part of the ecosystem.
And so when people talk about that, it starts to sound very complex. And I just want to mention, you visited Northern Thailand. The people that I work with, when it feels overwhelming like that and very complicated, they kind of step back to some simple principles, like the 7 areas of focus or the 4-way test. Their version is, are we respecting humanity? Meaning, are we respecting all humans as equally human? They deserve agency. They deserve information, so they can make decisions and be an equal part of decisions. And the second point is respect for nature, with a capital N nature, meaning plants, animals, soil, air, water, and humans too, as part of that system, and all the relationships between all those things. And if we're respecting humans and respecting nature, that's the base for the decision making, and it kind of simplifies the process to get back to that root. And I really see that the 4-way test and the 7 areas of focus are other similar models of trying to give people a simple framework to start from.
I mean, at this conference, I was talking to Rotarians. We chit-chat a little bit in here. I was amazed, Rotarian. It used to be 6 area focus. Environment was not in there. And it's only been a few years, environments as an area focus. Now I see that Rotaries are seeing the connection. Environment is not away from things. It's part of the whole peace building puzzle. That's what you mentioned, the whole round things in here. And Rotaries, or everyone recognize you cannot stay away from this one in here. By protecting environment, everything connects.
Yeah. I'm really impressed, by the changes since I did my Peace Fellowship in 2020. And when did you do yours?
2013 in Chulalongkorn, Bangkok.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do see the changes of the Rotary movement forward. We know, because of studies, peace is not static. It changed with the context, the economics, and everything. It's a moving target. There's no end point in here. So by changing, adapting to what we needed in the whole things in here, then we can have sustainable peace in the long run.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to study with other fellows from around the world at Chula, like you did.
No, I'm very happy that we get connected through these events, come together, because one of the biggest problems we're facing in here, we work on the field. We are really challenged, a lot of challenging things. We have our mentors too, right? We feel lonely in our peace works too. By having the opportunities, connect, alumni association, connecting, we support each other, connect the whole thing. And you energize me on the environment things. Your things are amazing.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of good connections here, reconnected again.
Right.
And people in the year or two in between that we see each other, you know, people are off doing their work,
right.
and they come across contacts and resources, and we get to come together here at the convention and face to face, you know, not just online through Zoom, and talk about these things. And there's a lot of growth, I think, for all of us.
Well, that's why I really appreciate people able to sponsor us coming together, because every peace builders or peace, you know, peace Rotarians are doing different parts of peace things. But are they independent, working in silo? No, they can be connected. And by together connecting in here, we will make a difference. You know, we have people working in the artists, music, everything in here. Wow, you do wonderful things, saying, hey, can we work together on certain things in here, get more Rotarians involved, get more Rotaracts involved, get other people involved. Well, come on, we build it up together.
Yeah, and I've seen connections between regions happen.
That's right.
Through Peace Fellows from different regions, connecting Rotary clubs and districts between different regions as well. I've seen that over the last 6 years, quite a few times.
And I learned a lot from Rotary systems in here. The global grants into more cross-culture, cross-country to build up. You cannot have just one, because, you know, by building relationships, I think that makes a difference. And I'm impressed about the, you know, the speakers, keynote speakers the other days, and you talk about, yes, you're doing project, but it's the relationship that makes us happy, right? I mean, that's the spirit of Rotary. Yeah, by doing things, it's like I would never have a chance to meet you had I not been Rotary, had I not been the Peace Fellows program, had we not been working on common things.
Maybe you would not have gone to the Mekong River.
No,
either.
Absolutely not. You know, I would be just like watching the news. All right, poor guy, stuff, you know, but by going there, seeing that, I almost kind of like cry. You know, they have all the problems, you know, skin issues, and
I appreciate that it's to me it's very obviously linked to your work in permaculture and food systems, because food systems are at the core, one of the cores of what's happening in the river systems that I'm working, among many other things. And the perspective that you bring, the system perspective that you bring, I think is really important. Yeah.
Well, on my area is, you know, it seems distant, but it's not, because everyone needs food. Good, clean food, good, clean waters, right? And food productions in the Mekong River, you're happy to eat those contaminated produce? No, people in Bangkok know that produce is coming there, right? You're polluting your food production source at source.
Yeah.
I'm eating toxic things. So what do you do? Those people are privileged enough that you can buy things from other places, right?
It's a complicated issue for sure, and it's
crazy.
It's not going to be solved without a global.
Well, I personally think it's
global
crazy.
Action.
When your village, when your own environment able to produce food for your own consumption, because of the contamination by the environment, you have to buy food from other village, other area, other regions, other countries. Isn't that crazy? You have to pay more, right? Local food for local consumption.
When we look at the whole system, it's not efficient. I agree. Yeah.
So everything is connected. It's just, we cannot escape. I mean, that's how I see the connection with the food systems. You know, I personally think there's two things to bring people together: food and music.
And I like that. I want to go back to that. I feel what you said about Rotarians and Rotaractors and going out to these places and seeing and coming from different regions,
right,
to see and understand, meet with each other. I think that's a key part of what we can do moving forward.
Well, let's work on it.
Okay.
You know, Rotarians, Rotaractors, and they're here.
Yeah,
and great conversation.
We had a program last year.
Yes.
To connect your university
Yes.
with our learning center. So hopefully we'll do more of that too.
Well, let's bring more Peace Fellows together, bring some Rotarians, Peace Fellows, everyone together, and try to resolve the global issues.
All right, I'll see you in Chiang Mai.
Cool.